What? Doesn't look like it. Hey, there we go. Jesus. Oh, man, I'm still such a rookie at this crap, bro. Took me forever to set this up right now. I'm telling you, man. Well, at least I got it working. Live on the stream. Here we are, back again.
Friend of the show, guys.
Friend of the show. Tom, friend of the show, sitting on the couch. Me talking about a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Where can I put this? Just anywhere? It's out of your way.
Check the audio.
I know, I saw it. I was out there going, oh, this looks really good. So now he's out.
I found out what was wrong with it. His thing holding the switch on the deck popped off. That's what was frustrating.
Oh, okay. You were doing something. I was like, damn, I just got off work. Fuck all this shit. You wanna? Hell yeah, let's do it. I'm just kind of putting up clothes and just gonna do some work stuff like emails. Remember me telling you about Sunny?
Yeah.
She's back.
Oh, nice.
I know, that's who I was talking to and giggling at.
Boom, 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 boom. Should be good there, hopefully. Testing, testing, check, check. Check, check, check. That's a little better. Let me see. What's up? Nice. Boom, boom, boom. this stuff figured out. Dude, check it out, bro. It looks pretty good, huh?
Yeah, this looks real good.
Even without the fucking spotlight on.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, that lady's bright.
Yeah. Actually looks better without it on this page.
Damn, look at the victory dub.
Jeepers. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna get into it here. No viewers, but that's okay. I can clip it later. That. See, Coach does all this just seamlessly. One day, guys, I'm gonna be like old Coach, man. Not quite. Let's see. All right, this is. Okay, I think that is exactly what I'm looking for. I hope, anyway. Let's see what we got. I probably shouldn't be showing this screen, but I need to watch it real quick just to make sure it's coming through on the stream right. Yes, it is. Perfect. Okay. All right, so Carl Walker, this is just stuff on my X. I'm just going to scroll through a couple things, hopefully not get into anything that gets me into trouble. Tucker Carlson, greater than Mark Levin. That's obvious if you've seen what's going on. I'm trying to look for some of the Tucker Carlson stuff. Candace Owens, I will find out who killed Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson, I killed Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Some of the Candace Owens hate, which that's a whole different subject. Let's see. Iran, Army Media, dear Americans, Iran does not have the missile range to strike your country. By your own government, yeah, or that place. I'm not going to say that because apparently that's one of those words I'm not supposed to say. I'm still new to this, but we're going to learn it together, guys. If this video just magically goes down for some reason, I said something I'm not supposed to. Let me see. I'm just going to search it up real quick. Yeah, that's what I think too. No. Let me see here. I'm just going to go straight to his page. Because that's who I wanted to cover the most, man. Tucker's the man. I didn't want to do the whole damn thing though, but I'm just gonna play some of it here. We'll let Tucker go off.
Many still do root for
Let me
Donald
make
Trump.
sure the audio
Now,
is
why
good
is
first.
that? Because of his personal piety? Well, of course not. Trump, to his credit, has never claimed to be personally pious, especially religious in any sense. They voted for him and they still support him because
Can you hear it?
he seemed like a protector. He seemed like someone who might save them from the growing and highly aggressive
I can't tell.
agnosticism, if not atheism, of, say, the technology class or the bureaucratic class. Godless nations,
There we
nations of
go.
other religions
there
that
we go.
oppose
There we
us.
go.
Donald
I'm
Trump seemed
getting
like
this,
someone who would
guys.
protect Christians from that.
Just a
Who was
second.
committed
Work
to
with
the free
me.
exercise of religion in this country, and who was
getting
also
this, guys.
committed to ending abortion.
Just a second.
Whether or not
Work
he
with me.
himself opposed abortion, whether he was pro-life in any meaningful sense, didn't seem to matter to ending abortion. Whether or not he himself opposed abortion, whether he was pro-life in any meaningful sense, didn't seem to matter to ending abortion. Whether or not he himself opposed abortion, whether he was pro-life in any
Oh my
meaningful
God,
sense,
what
didn't seem
just
to matter
happened?
to ending abortion.
This went off on an endless
He
loop.
himself opposed abortion, whether he was pro-life in any
Oh my
meaningful
God,
sense,
what
didn't
just
seem to
happened?
matter to ending abortion.
This went off on an endless
He
loop.
himself opposed abortion, whether he was pro-life in
Oh
any
my
meaningful
God,
sense,
what
didn't
just
seem to matter
happened?
to ending abortion.
This went off on an endless loop. Oh my God, what just happened? This went off on an endless loop. All right, let me shut off the audio again. Though I think it's working. All right, let me shut off the audio again. Though I think it's working. Desktop. Okay, so this all the way up. All right, one more time. Try it out. I don't think anybody's watching, so I think we're good on the mistakes for now. Yep, good to go. Nobody's watching. Hey man, I don't even care. I'm just gonna rough draft it. I'm gonna do this stuff live because that's just that's how I want to do it, man. I want to get hopefully some live interactions. But if that doesn't happen, I will still make some clips out of it either way. Okay, so once again, let's play this.
Millions of American Christians voted for Donald Trump when he ran for president in the last election, and millions more Christians around the world rooted for him to win. Many still do root for Donald Trump. Now, why is that? Because of his personal piety? Well, of course not. Trump, to his credit, has never claimed to be personally pious, especially religious in any sense. They voted for him and they still support him because
he even clipped it out. Let's see. Is that what this is? Oh no, he goes straight into the damn. I was hoping
American history. That suggests not the, but people don't want to live under that law because it is a brutal and unforgiving. But you know, widely publicized on-camera meeting with the heads of American oil companies and talk through how we're going to split up the natural resources of Venezuela and why this is great for America.
He's talking about Venezuela.
So why should Christians have paused at exactly that moment and asked, can I still support this? Is this what I voted for? Is this what I want? Is this acceptable? And the reason is really simple. Because Trump, at that moment, revealed that the motive was taking something that we wanted. And that's not acceptable for Christians. In fact, that's not acceptable for Americans or any civilized people, because taking other people's stuff by force cannot be allowed. In fact, preventing that is the basis of our legal code. If there's one thing that every person knows, that is, in a civilized country, you can't steal without penalty. It's not.
not only that, these other countries have, they're not just armies, they're people, they're kids, they're women, they're families. And so when we disrupt them like this, we disrupt people just like us. They're I mean, they're doing the same thing, trying to survive just like we are, and we're including them in all this nonsense. And those are the ones that get affected the most, is those people. So that's the reason I wanted to talk about this the most, is because it matters. It matters. It's people just like us. And if we're just going to go do this to them, who's to say that the shoe's not going to be on the other foot at some point and someone comes to do it to us? We can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. And
not allowed. That doesn't belong to you. You can't shoplift. You can't rob banks. You can't embezzle.
We have laws.
You can't invade countries to steal their stuff, because they're all varieties of the same theme, which is theft. And theft is wrong. It's wrong under the American legal code, but it's also wrong under the Christian legal code. Theft is wrong. Spelled out really clearly. It's also intuitive. And here was the president saying, we're just stealing this because we can. Well, as a practical matter, that's quite a thing to say out loud, given that we know from history that the things you do will be done unto you. Once you set a standard, you will have to live by that standard. Write a law, you'll be judged by that law. So if the new law is, I can take it because I want it, and I have more power than you, at some point, we can rest assured the tables will be turned, and the things that we want and cherish and have earned and that we own will be taken from us by force at the moment when some other power has more force than we do. It's really simple, sometimes called the law of the jungle. And it may be the law of nature, but people don't want to live under that law because it is a brutal and unforgiving law. So they create higher laws, or they appeal to the highest law of all, which is God's law, which prohibits that. So this was a profound moment in American history, probably in the history of the modern world, where the most powerful nation said, if we want it, we'll take it. No one's ever said that before. Now, they've done it under the guise of ideology. They've made up stories to hide the fact they're doing it. But to say you're doing it implicates everybody else in the crime. You can't say you didn't know. Your president just told you on television, we took out their president because we want his oil. And at that point, you're an accessory to the crime, whether you want to be or not. And it's at that point that a lot of people should have spoken up and said, I'm out. Not that I hate Trump or don't like his entire program. Lots of things about it I love. I'm grateful. I'd maybe vote for him again, but I can't support theft because it's immoral. But they didn't. Maybe some did, but certainly the leaders.
Now, I'm going to clarify my stance on that. I would never vote for any of these people. Tucker says maybe, again, no. I'm not going to go too deep into my own view on that, but I'm just going to say that I don't hold any faith in anybody I see right now. Maybe Chris Massey. He seems like he's pretty genuine, but looking around, it's tough. It's tough to pick out somebody you trust. You got somebody you trust, Tom, friend of the show?
Hell no.
No. Yeah, I don't mean Tom. We're pretty much on the same page in that. But anyway, I just wanted to clarify that because we're watching Tucker. I'm gonna let him do his thing because he is awesome. But maybe vote for him again. Come on now. No.
Of the American Christian churches, by and large, said absolutely nothing. And maybe because they said nothing, this accelerated. These are the same people who sort of didn't notice somehow that on Inauguration Day, the president did not take his oath of office with his hand on the Bible. His wife stood next to him holding it. I was about 15 feet away and saw it, but he did not put his hand on the Bible.
Okay, one point
and
about that.
That should have been.
I'm gonna. I was looking at a post earlier, and in 2017, he actually did do almost the same setup where he's standing next to Melania. She's holding the Bible, and he actually does put his hand on the Bible. Got his hand up, puts his hand on the Bible, and then
maybe a clue that we need to pause and think about, what is this? Why wouldn't you put your hand on the Bible?
So it's kind of saying something.
If you don't believe in the Bible, you think it's just a book, there's no cost to you to putting your hand on it, just kind of following the protocol, going along with the tradition. All presidents do it. Why aren't you doing it? And you're not doing it intentionally. You're choosing not to put your hand on the Bible when you take that oath. That suggests not that you don't believe it's real, because if you didn't believe it was real, why would you care? You'd put on the costume and take it off. It doesn't matter. That suggests you know it is real and you're rejecting it intentionally. You know what you're doing and you're doing it anyway. But nobody asked questions about that either.
That's unacceptable. It's not okay.
It seemed kind of inappropriate, given the celebration then in progress, to ask, why wouldn't you put your hand on the Bible when you take the oath of office to lead our nation? But pretty much nobody did. I didn't. I'll admit that. I saw it and didn't say one word. Bothered me ever since. But right around January 4th, it became clear that maybe he didn't put his hand on the Bible because he affirmatively rejects what's inside that book. And what's inside that book are limits on human behavior. Because if there's one theme that spans all 66 books in the Christian Bible, it's that you are not God.
You're not.
And you cannot assume his powers.
And we can't just go wiping people
because you don't have them.
It's not okay.
You may convince yourself you have them. You may want them. You may have been promised them. But in the end, they're not yours. And you'll never have them. And you can only destroy yourself and the people around you by pretending that you do. That is the consistent message that spans from Genesis to Revelation. And people who ignore that law are punished. Just like people who ignore gravity or freezing temperatures are punished. Because these are laws that were not created by people. They supersede people.
Laws of nature.
But on January 4th, when the President of the United States told us he was stealing, that our country was stealing something that didn't belong to us, people should have piped up and said something, but they didn't. And that got us all the way to yesterday, which was Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday is not just a holy day on the Christian calendar. It is the center of the Christian calendar. It is the holiest day in Christian life, because it's the day that Christians remember the whole point of their religion, which is not that Jesus was killed, but that he rose from the dead, that he beat death, unique in history. And this is the day that
I want to make the point that this is a video that Tucker made on Monday, right? Okay, so he makes this video. You know Trump saw this. You know he saw it. He had to have. And Tucker goes off on this whole rant about how dare you do this on Easter Sunday, which I agree. I absolutely agree. How can we dare talk about nuking people on, as the president? I mean, come on. He's the president, He should be talking about one thing, and that's Easter Sunday, Jesus, family, all that good stuff. And we're talking about nuking people. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. There should have been a prayer said. There should have been a celebration.
Should have been a peace day.
It's supposed to be a day of celebration. So, overall just on the basis of that, it's largely disrespectful, and what he said is incredible. And then he doubles down, and not so. Like I said, what I was saying is he definitely seen this. He saw this video. What Tucker says. And then today, this morning, this is the 7th of April. It is now almost 7 p.m. this morning. At 8 o'clock, he's talking about an entire civilization will die tonight. So not only did he stop and not reverse course, or at least try to correct it, he doubled down, and he's talking about destroying an entire civilization. And I had to talk about it because that is dangerous thinking. That's crazy, and the implications of that are horrible. Just the damage in the country itself, the women, the children, the people that have nothing to do with the decisions of their governments just getting nuked for no reason. Like, come on, that's ridiculous. And then you don't know where it's going to go beyond that. There's going to obviously be some sort of retaliation. There has to be. You don't get to do these kind of things, without retaliating, especially not in today's day and age. We're not looked at like we used to be. I'm not going to go too deep into that either, but the world doesn't look at us like they used to. And this has been a long test of that. This should have been over with. We said it was going to be over with when, and we're still struggling with it. And now we're talking about going nuclear. So obviously, everything else has failed until this point. If not, we wouldn't be talking about escalating it even further. And throughout that entire process, it's made us look worse and worse and worse, because we keep saying you need to, do what we want you to do by this time, or this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And then now he makes this huge threat. Let me see if I can find a tweet of it somewhere, or whatever. His network is called Truth Social. I'm sure there's a tweet of it somewhere. Actually, you know what? I know who brought it up. Let me see. My girl here. I don't care if you like her or not. The girl is solid. There it is. Right there. Let me see if it's on the screen. It is. Okay. Well, I'm just going to read it out. I'm sure if you can see it. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen. Who does, by the way? If he doesn't want it to happen, who's... Anyway. Because it probably will. If he doesn't want to happen, but it probably will. Who does want it to happen? Who's making it happen? I don't know. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. Okay. Yeah, and that was, 9-10 hours ago. So after this whole thing, Tucker says, we're talking about nuclear war. So obviously Trump doesn't care. But and then if you look, here's some more. We got this place here. Not gonna say. Taking out a village in Lebanon. Unbelievable, man. That's what we're coming to in this. This is what happens when we take out power in other countries.
We used to carry out 10,000 surgeries a year. I don't think we'll reach 1,000 this year. After COVID, we went progressively downhill, but the public health system prioritizes pediatrics, so we made do. But now our reserves are hitting rock bottom because of the power crisis. Our laboratories can't produce medicine or anesthesia either.
No medicine,
more than 3
no
months of a near total U.S. fuel blockade on Cuba are having deadly consequences.
The most. When they can't have medicine and anesthesia and stuff, this is the civilians that are suffering. Civilians are dying because of what we're doing. Just regular people. That's who this is affecting the most.
Especially in hospitals and clinics where conditions are rapidly deteriorating. Infant mortality, once the lowest in the Americas, is rising steadily.
And these are two very modern machines. This one is much older, but it's essential, and it doesn't have a battery. So if the light goes out, it's off.
Dr. Fernandez says it's like operating blind.
We used to carry out 10,000 surgeries a year. I don't think we'll reach 1,000 this year. After COVID, we went progressively down.
Taking care of people in the dark. Jeez, man. And here's another. This is Iran. This isn't a military base. This is like one of their cities. This would be like people lining up on the San Francisco Bridge because they don't want it to get bombed because another country is about to nuke us. Please don't nuke our bridge. So they're lining up on the what would be our San Francisco bridge, just a civilian bridge. They use that every day. They go to work on that bridge. It's not a military target. Kids walk across that bridge to go to school every day. So look at these people. They're normal people. Yeah, they dress a little different. If we were from there, if you were from there, if you're a girl watching this, you would dress like that because you're from there. Philly. That's where you live. That's your culture. That's a baby. That's a baby on screen. Yeah, that's. I just wanted to. I wanted to highlight that a little bit more, man, because I feel like the mainstream media is failing us, and independent voices are actually where we're going to be getting the real news. And I'm not going to say the real news. That's not everything I have is never going to be the full picture, 100% accurate. I'm just giving my perspectives on it, but I feel like my perspective, and of course, so many others, people that I follow and things like that, are going to be where you're going to get the most sense nowadays. Because I got to tell you, I'm not putting too much faith in the mainstream anymore, because you check the mainstream, you're going to be listening to people like Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin and all of those people telling you that genocide is basically biblically okay. It's what we're supposed to be doing. Those people on the bridge, they don't matter. They don't matter. Those people right there, we're supposed to think of them as less than human, and that's not working for me. That's not. It's not the propaganda is not strong enough. It's not working on me. I still have a heart for these people. I look at them and I see, like I said, I see everyday people like you and I, man. When I see that bridge, I think about what they use that bridge for. They built that for a reason. Why? Because they want to go to work. They want to go to school. They want to, live their everyday lives. And that right there might be turned to ash. That very place might be turned to ash tonight with the people there. The people there on it. That's literally what he's talking about. So that's it. I'm going to end it on that because I'm a little fired up. That's the clip. That's the stream. Good luck to us all, man. I'm hoping it doesn't go down like that. I know we all are. So pray if that's your thing. Whatever you got to do, go put your rocks outside. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. Throw good vibes out because we need them. We need them. Y'all take care.